Blanket stitch applique is so easy this day. On this machine, there are two options. A single version at stitch number 107 and a heavier version at 108. This one will be like when you're using floss and doing it by hand, well, but without the hand part. So we're going to start with 107. I put on the open toe foot number 20. And then what you really want to do, oh, and I also put on some variegated thread because it's just fun that way. What you want to do is guide it so that the stitching that comes straight along the right side is even with the raw edge of the fabric that you're appliquing down. Then the bite, that's the part that you want to kind of keep perpendicular to the edge. So as you start to get close to a turn, that way you want to kind of turn it a little bit, stop with the needle down in the fabric. We'll set it so it stops on there, and then turn when it's on the right side. Don't turn when it's on the bite. It just doesn't, well, it opens up, doesn't look good. Another thing that you can do, let's take a look. So it's a nice, small, delicate stitch along here, but this is also a bigger heart. So I might want to increase the width and the length, and I like to do it proportionally. So if I make the width to 3, I'll make the length to 3. And you can really see that it kind of keeps everything nice and proportioned. Okay. And of course, you would have tested this to see how you liked it. And again, I always use the presser foot lifter for going around appliques. It's so much easier than lifting the hand. It's just not at the convenient place for me with the videos going here. But just work your way around. Otherwise, you have to stop every time and lift the presser foot up. Now, so here's a little bigger version of it. Now, to make it a lot easier, there's really nothing that allows you to guide this right down the middle of the foot because it's not a balanced stitch, meaning it's not proportional. So what I like to do, I'm going to bring the needle in the up position and move this needle position to the far right side. Now we can set the foot, here we go. The inside toe is going to guide right along the raw edge of the applique. So much simpler here, instead of trying to guess where that's actually going to be. Here we go, turn it around a little bit. But that is my trick that I love. I really don't like using it in the center needle position after getting used to this. Another thing you can do is you can get the magnifier from Bernina. It sits right on your machine. There's a little bracket that's added on. Allows you to see where you're going. The applique is just gigantic when you're going around it. Let me go ahead and get to this little corner here. I'm going to take one more stitch forward. I'm going to pivot in and pivot out, and then I'm going to turn, and then let's go ahead and pick that heavier stitch, the other option for the blanket stitch. Okay, here we'll come back. Stitch number 108 this time. Now, this one's going to have a few more stitches. I kind of goofed because the needle position pops back to the center because that's where the default is. So we'll go ahead and get it started here so you can see. And I might make that a little bit larger too. Make that at 4 and then length at 4. It's going to be much bigger. And then you'll really see the dynamic of the extra stitches that are being laid down. So it goes back and forth 4 times and then also in 4 times. So you kind of need to know where the next stitch is going to go before you pivot. See how I kind of cycled through? I needed to pivot, but I didn't want to do it when the stitching is still going back or forth. I want to do it more prior to it going to, say, jumping inward. And there. Then that would be where I could pivot. And then that helps keep that blanket stitch coming perpendicular to the edge of the fabric and doesn't get slanted. Okay, so this will give you an idea how much bolder that stitching is because it's heavier. And how fun is that with the variegated thread? So remember, move your needle position. If you want your stitches to really look nice, I have adjusted my tension on the top just down a little bit because I've got a decorative thread on top and a neutral thread on the bobbin. And then I make sure that that bobbin thread doesn't show through on the top side. And my favorite, the open toe foot, number 20, that comes with your machine.